Hey everyone, thank you for joining and welcome to this Product People event. Before we start, please just remember that you can watch this stream on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Twitch. And also a reminder that this will be recorded. So if you want to share it with your fellow PMs afterwards, or if you just want to rewatch us again, you can just head out to our YouTube channel and you'll find it there. We also have a Slido running for you. So you see the QR code on the screen, or you can go to slido.com and enter the code you see on the screen, where you can give us some insights and ask questions directly to the speaker during or after her talk. Today's talk is from Aleksandra Marschner, and it's about navigating founder mode and what we do at Product People. So I am a product manager consultant, been in product for about 5 years, and previously worked in mainly B2B context, first as a in-house product manager and then as a consultant with Product People. And I have an unusual way into product. I spent like several years in academic career and research in cognitive science before moving to product. And let me tell you a little bit about what we do at Product People in case you don't know us or you're new here. Our mission is to help companies discover and deliver great products faster. So we do interim product management, and we empower our product management community to share knowledge generously while managing the hands-on work of a product manager or product owner, ops, product leader on a fractional basis. We onboard fast, we align teams and deliver outcomes thanks to our in-house team. And we also curate free events like this one for what's become one of the biggest PM communities in Europe. We have now over 60,000 members. So before I hand it over to you, Aleksandra, let's do a little icebreaker. So we have Slido here again. You can scan the QR code or enter the numerical code. And we have a little question for you just to start, and then we can comment about the answers, the most common answer we get. So the question is, in your experience, what is the most effective strategy for managing a founder-driven leadership style? So over-communicating to create alignment, or turning ambiguity into structured plans, or building relationships across the organization to manage sideways, or presenting data that grounds visionary ideas in reality. I will give you a couple of minutes, and then we can look at what the most common answer is. And maybe, Aleksandra, you want to share a comment on that. So I'll just give a couple of minutes to start gathering some of the answers. I know what I would choose, and I'm very curious to see what the majority of people will be choosing as well. I'm sure you also have your ideas about it, Aleksandra. I'm curious to.
Yes, definitely. I can relate basically to all of the options here, and I will discuss some of them later in the talk. Yes, but I'm super keen on understanding how the audience is thinking.
Yeah, at the moment we have a 50-50 split between A and C.
Yes, and it shows how complex this topic is, and there is no right or wrong answer, and I believe that's why the answers are distributed.
Yeah, absolutely.
This way.
I'm not sure if we should be waiting a little longer, or if you want to start sharing your ideas about what you see.
So I believe we can start sharing the presentation.
Yeah, sure.
This is
Just
fine.
So yeah, and I'll see. I'm very curious to see what you say and how that relates to the responses we got as well, to the little icebreaker. So over to you, Aleksandra.
Yes, thank you, Marta. So hello again, everyone. Yes, so today we are talking about founder mode, and this is something every product manager encounters sooner or later. And as we see already from this short Slido survey, there are no easy answers to that. And it's a complex topic. And yeah, I'm super happy to discuss this with you today and dig maybe a bit deeper into some techniques. And so many of you know the story. You spent a week aligning a beautiful roadmap. You have a full buy-in of all stakeholders. The team is excited. The founder approved it. And then the next day, you get a Slack message from your founder saying, just let's pivot, another big opportunity. And then you just hear your roadmap gently crying in the background. And when this story sounds familiar, this talk is exactly for you. And so today we will not discuss whether founder mode is good or bad, or whether it creates better results than the traditional manager mode. My goal today is to give you some practical tools to navigate this founder mode without losing your sanity. And yeah, short introduction maybe about me. I'm a product lead with over 10 years of experience in digital product management. I have experience in different industries and products, including loyalty solutions, marketplaces, Insurtech, and e-commerce currently. And I'm very passionate about growing products, leading change, and developing high-performing teams. That's why I'm also personally very interested in the founder mode topic. And let me also take this opportunity and say that I'm very glad that product people created this community and give us a platform to exchange experiences and learn from each other. So thank you for inviting me today. And now, without further ado, let's jump into the founder mode. So how do you recognize founder mode? I'd say it's a specific operating state that many founders enter when the company faces high stakes, high uncertainty, or high opportunity. And I would not say it's a management style. For me, it's rather an energy mode. So when we talk about founder mode, we are really talking about high intensity, high bandwidth, bundled together in this leadership energy. In founder mode, the founder becomes extremely hands-on. So they move fast, they think in leaps, they switch rapidly between vision, intuition, customer insights, and also sometimes random bursts of creativity. And from the outside, it often looks chaotic. But inside, the founder is the mind of the founder is a highly connected network of signals. And it means that they react quickly, they push hard, and sometimes they even override processes in order to keep things moving. And also, it's important to note that founder mode is not reserved for founders. Many leaders operate with this level of ownership, speed, decisiveness, and attention to detail. So when I say founder, I actually mean a founder-style leader. And those leaders work at all levels of hierarchy and in all company types, be it a startup, scale up, and established mature companies, which means that you will encounter these leaders many times throughout your career. And if you're a product manager, you're standing right where that founder energy hits reality, because priorities shift, decisions bypass process, directions change every week, every day, sometimes every hour. And you are expected to keep up, bring structure, and deliver. So as a product manager, you're standing in this blessed zone between founder inspiration and actual team execution. And your options here are either try to survive and react to changes, or go into the lead and become a strategic partner for the founder. And with this presentation, I will help you to achieve the latter. And let's be very honest, founder mode doesn't feel like a superpower at first. You operate in constant ambiguity. It's not clear who decides. Processes get bypassed. Scope changes. Priorities are very opportunistic. And insights from discoveries and data are just another option for the founder. So it feels like trying to build a plane while someone keeps redesigning the wings. And maybe it helps to understand it better if we put ourselves in the shoes of the founder for a moment. And it helps to reflect that founders are mainly driven by responsibility, vision, and fear of losing momentum. And often they also have to deal with limited context, a flood of information, aggressive goals, and many other challenges which are not visible for product managers. Things like reorgs, fundraising, layoffs, board meetings, and similar. And so the founder is facing a lot of priorities, constraints, stressors we don't see, and which may have nothing to do with what we are working on, yet they have a visible impact on founders' actions and decisions. And when we reflect on this, it helps to shift our point of view from this is the best for me and my team to this is the best for the company. And this is how the founder define their success. And here we have a plot twist. It feels chaotic, but actually it's a potential energy. And when we talk about founder mode, it's easy to focus on the chaos, the rapid shifts, the surprise ideas, the urgency. But there is a whole set of opportunities hiding inside that energy. And these are things that traditional product organizations often struggle to generate on their own. So first, bold decisions on risks single teams can't take, because founders have a unique vantage point. They see across product, market, fundraising, brand, timing, and many more. And that lets them make bold, cross-cutting decisions that no individual team could justify alone. Second, there is a sharp purpose aligned across many teams, because founders can create clarity in a way that slides or documents simply can't create. And one clear statement from a founder can align engineering, design, go-to-market teams, and leadership. instantly and easily. And so the founder mode gives you that crisp, emotionally anchored purpose that keeps teams rowing in the same direction. And the next opportunity is the creative leaps founders can provide. And this is because they have access to conversations and data points the rest of us rarely see. It's investor feedback, it's customer anecdotes, also things like market pressure, and of course, personal vision. And when channeled well, that creates those creative leaps. And sometimes traditional structured product processes might never surface such creativity. And fourth, fast development and go-to-market cycles. Because founder mode shortens the distance between idea, decision, and action. And when the founder is fully engaged, obstacles disappear and approvals happen instantly, and teams can ship and learn dramatically faster. So the way I want to see it here is that it's a big wave, big energy, and if we learn to surf this wave and not drown in it, we actually may gain an unfair advantage against other product managers and within our organization. And so the real question becomes now, how do we stop feeling overwhelmed by founder mode? And how can we start using it to our advantage? And because the founder mode is so different from the classic manager mode, it requires also a radically different mindset. To thrive in this mode, we need to be radically collaborative and proactive and very, very focused on outcomes. And most of us were trained in a world where the signs of a healthy product organization are stability, process, predictability. But the founder mode flips that on its head. And now the core idea is that instead of resisting the chaos, the shift is to see it as a raw material, something we can shape and direct. The old mindset is, how do I control this? The new mindset becomes, how do I convert this energy into traction? It means shifting from protecting the team from the founder to connecting the founder with the team in the right way. Shifting from feeling overwhelmed by ideas to filtering them quickly and placing them in the right lanes. And shifting from expecting fully formed strategies to co-creating clarity together with the founder. And maybe the biggest shift is moving from seeing founder mode as a problem to seeing it as a power source that can make the company faster, bolder, and more aligned, if we channel it well. And this mindset shift is the foundation for everything else in this talk. Without this shift, all the tools and tactics are meaningless. So now, with the right mindset, this is where structure actually becomes your ally. It's not about heavy processes. It's simple tools that match the speed and the intuition founders operate with. And let's start with a simple yet very powerful framework, the 3-option framework. And it's one of the simplest and most effective ways to turn these founder ideas into actionable, aligned decision. And here, especially, the goal is to avoid the yes or no conversation, which almost always creates friction, and it's a win-lose situation. And instead, we can turn the idea into a set of choices. So here is how it works. Option A is a fast, lightweight version. This is the smallest thing we can do to create momentum. It says, we heard you, we're moving, and we can test something quickly. Option B is the experimental version, which turns the idea into a learning loop, and we get some real signals before committing significant resources. It's perfect for ideas which are visionary but need validation without slowing the team down too much. And then we have the option C, which is the strategic, fully built version. And this one aligns the idea with the roadmap and also with the long-term priorities. This is the big bet version, but with clear costs, clear trade-offs, and clear sequencing as well. And the magic of this framework is that it shifts the conversation away from should we do this to which way should we do it right now. And by that, founders don't feel blocked, they feel empowered. And on the other side, teams don't feel overwhelmed, but guided. And you as the product lead, you are in the middle and you become the person who turns these creative sparks into structured and actionable paths forward. And the second tool I want to share with you is the one-page alignment. And for me, this is always a remedy to confusion and misinterpretation. And it also helps to avoid long decision cycles. And the reason is that founders move fast and they hate long documents. So we need to distill everything down to a single page that captures the essence of what we are doing. And here's what makes it powerful. So first, it forces clarity. Because if we can't express the problem, the objective, the hypothesis, the success measure on one page, then we don't actually understand it yet. So this constraint supports our own discipline, and it makes us sharing only content we really understood. Second, it accelerates decisions because founders don't have time usually for a 20-slide deck, but they will absolutely read one clean page. It gives them everything they need to confirm the direction or challenge their assumptions. And it also aligns across teams. It does not have that much to do with the founder mode, but if you have one single source of truth, then everyone, engineering, design, product marketing, sales, all these functions can gather around this one single source of truth. And it means we reduce rework and the miscommunication in the project. And finally, it protects the team because once the founder agrees to this, it creates an anchor. And when new ideas appear, and they will, we can reference the agreement and we have a structured conversation about whether and why we should change course. And there is also one bonus technique I want to share, and it's the question you need to ask yourself because before you ask something your founder. So be very clear what you are asking for. and proactively contribute to the discussion. So if you need a decision, offer options. If you ask for budget, first discuss the ROI and opportunity cost in your request. If you want the founder to take action, describe the challenges you face and urgency and what you want the founder to do. And if you need input, explain why and explain also the desired outcome you need. And if you just share information to create alignment, tell the founder why this information is relevant for them. And the point is that by providing this clarity, you are the person who go into the lead and you lead the conversation into the direction which you want to go to. So now let's talk about the third tool, which is the founder filter. And this filter helps us because founder mode produces a huge spectrum of ideas. And some of them are strategically important, but some are just impulses that just need a moment to breathe and then disappear. And we need to separate the two without slowing the founder down. And here is how it works. Whenever a new idea appears, we just run it through the 4 quick questions we ask the founder. So first, is it coming from a strategic insight or a moment of inspiration? Both are valuable. We just need to categorize this energy. Second, is the timing critical? Because some ideas are urgent, others will still matter in a month or 2. The third question is, what is a 30-day impact here? If we acted on this now, what would be different in a month? This will help you to understand the size of the opportunity. And fourth, what happens if we don't act on it? And this one is very powerful because it reveals how consequential the idea truly is. And by doing this in under a minute, we keep founder creativity flowing, but we also protect the team from trash. We respond with clarity instead of defense, and we reframe the conversation from should we do this to what is the right way to treat this idea. The filter doesn't block ideas, it focuses them, so it helps us to say yes, and here is where it belongs. And here is the trick. Founders don't mind boundaries, they mind bureaucracy. And this is where guardrails can help. So although guardrails often sound like constraints, in a founder mode, they are actually the opposite. They are what keeps us moving fast without steering into the chaos. So we can think about them as a momentum protectors. So that's why they are my tool number 4. So why is that? Why are guardrails so helpful? So first, they reduce unnecessary decisions, because if defined, we can then refer to them to understand what the team owns, what needs founder input, what principles guide decisions, and then dozens of micro decisions simply never reach the founder. This protects their focus and this also accelerates our execution. Guardrails also help keep the vision intact, because what we don't want is a situation when teams interpret founder ideas differently, because we lose clarity then. So guardrails act like a translation layer. This is how we make decisions. This is what matters most. This is the standard we uphold. So they preserve the founder's intent without requiring the founder to be in every room. And also guardrails create autonomy. And this is because once those boundaries are clear, teams can move with confidence instead of hesitation, and we don't need to wait for approval. We don't need to second guess. And by that, execution becomes smoother and faster. And the question is what to do to ensure the buy-in of the founder and the acceptance of the guardrails. And here, my experience is that you can get the buy-in by co-creating the guardrails together with the founder. So include the founder in the creation and definition of your boundaries, and also show very clearly what happens when we don't have them. And for example, that would be inconsistent execution, lower quality decisions, producing trash, and this is all things founders don't like. And the last tool I call hire the founder, and these tools helps us to channel the energy into forward motion instead of sideways motion. And the trick is that you can think of the founder as a powerful consultant or contributor to your initiatives, a person you can hire to accelerate what you are doing. So first, what you can do is to hire the founder for vision creation, because founders think naturally in possibility and in the future. So pull them up, not in. And by that, you get clarity and you avoid drowning in details. And you can do that asking questions like, what change do you want customers to feel, for example? The second idea is to hire founder for discovery. So as we already said, founders have access to quite exclusive information. And if we invite founders to contribute, and at the same time we set the structure, we can get really deep, profound results. Our job here is to set the discovery in a way that it stays evidence-based and not solution first. Thirdly, you can hire the founder for alignment. Founders are storytellers. Their narrative can synchronize an entire company. So let them explain the why, let them kick off initiatives, let them really rally the organization. And this is because teams align to conviction and to emotion and not so much to documents. And fourth, you can hire the founders for creativity. Founders generate ideas constantly, and your job is to create containers for that energy. So you can have a weekly idea unload, fast experiments, or like discussions about wild version versus a test version, so that you capture this creativity without letting it derail the whole execution. And finally, use founder energy to accelerate decisions. This is very powerful because when teams get stuck, founders can cut through ambiguity. So let founders unblock cross-team issues, trade-offs, external constraints. And you can think about it like the founder is your superhero, or it's like a volcano. Your job isn't to seal the volcano, it's to direct the lava somewhere useful. So the takeaway for today is that founder mode isn't something to survive. This is actually something to master. And this is what helps you to step out of a reactive mode and into real leadership. And when we master the founders mode, we become translators of the vision, moderators of the speed, navigators through ambiguity, and the stabilizer in the turbulence. So, in other words, we are the traffic air controller while the founder is flying 5 planes at the same time. And the best point is that when we can harness founder mode, we don't just build better products, we become this strategic partner founders didn't even know they needed, but then they can hardly imagine working without. So to wrap up, I hope this gave you some practical tools to navigate founder mode, not as a chaos to survive, but as an energy you can actually harness. And if you want to go deeper, I highly recommend starting with Paul Graham's original essay. It's called Founder Mode. And also with Marty Kagan's articles on the founder style leadership in the SVPG newsletter, because they offer a good starting point for your further research. Thank you for your time, your attention. And if you want to continue the conversation, exchange war stories, or share your own experiences, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. So yes, thank you again, and may the founder's energy always turn into your traction.
Thank you so much, Aleksandra. It was absolutely insightful. I loved all of your tips. As someone who worked with a founder of that style, the super creative volcano, for a number of years, and I wish I had all your tips beforehand. I could learn navigating that mode myself. So thank you so much, and thank you all for listening. It's time for sharing your questions, comments, whatever you have on Slido. Again, you can use the QR code on the code you see on the screen, or you can leave your questions in the comments as well, or whatever platform you're following from. So we're going to wait for some of your questions to come in. And meanwhile, I can talk a little bit more about Pro People and what we do, and what kind of cases you might find yourself in that you might want to work with us. So as I mentioned before, we do interim product managers. We cover parental leaves. We can scale your product management team quickly, or we can lead key initiatives while bridging the gap until a full-time new employee joins. We know that sometimes hiring can take a very long time, so we can cover that time in the meantime. You can also get temporary help to drive product discovery and delivery for a deadline, or to create big impact in a very short time. And you can also use us to coach your product management team to reach their full potential, streamlining processes from 0 to 1, including product operations or program management. And we can also assist you with running discovery to uncover that big next impactful initiative or new product. Here you can see some of the B2C clients that worked with us in the past, like eBay or FreeNow or DeepL. And here you can see some of the B2B clients we work with, companies like the World Health Organization, Omitria, Satisfy, and Elucidat. Last but not least, here are some important statistics about our company. We have supported almost 700 cross-functional teams, over 130 clients, from Series A startups all the way to publicly listed companies. We have a team of 40 in-house product leaders and product managers to deliver high-quality service to our clients. And we take pride in having 59% women in the team, with 60% in leadership roles. So we are now waiting for your questions. I'll see if we have questions already on Slido. Or maybe you can take some time, Aleksandra, to comment in the meantime the question we had at the beginning, if you had any comments about those answers we got from the little question we shared at the start.
So we got diverse answers in the poll, and I commented spontaneously that it shows only how complex this whole topic around founders mode is. And indeed, it's a very new concept, although I believe founder mode exists forever, probably. However, the name and the classification of the problem is very new. So I believe the whole community needs to have a thorough discussion about methods and what works really good, what are good blueprints or really best practices to encounter this mode, exactly the same way as we had a thorough and long discussion about agile methods. So now I believe the era of founder mode is coming, and we will have more and more conversation about that. It's a very new concept. It has been introduced actually in 2024, if I'm not mistaken, by Paul Graham, who reported on a conversation with Chesky, the CEO of Airbnb. So it's really new, and we even don't have sometimes a vocabulary to talk about this and to understand this concept. So that's why I believe there is no one prevalent opinion what to do and how to act.
Yeah, I think before that, all of us had to kind of learn navigating in a way that worked, because there were no clear like tips, no, how to do that. We have one question, and it relates to one of the you mentioned actually that your job is not to say no, your job is to channel that energy, and I found that super interesting. But the question we have is, if we have to say no, how do we push back to founders strongly and say no without damaging the relationship?
Yes. So this is also my personal experience, that founders really react badly to a verbatim no, and we need to find ways to do it without really stating the no. And for me, this is really working in scenarios. So it's saying, I hear you, I understand this initiative issue, this problem is relevant. And now let me tell you which options we have. And then discuss the options very openly and very honestly. And while discussing the options, also tell what are the trade-offs. And the trade-offs, of course, are what to place on the roadmap and what to remove from the roadmap, but also maybe some implications on other teams, implications on the brand, implications on our possibility to scale the product later. So all the things you as a product manager constantly worry about. And founders are people who react very well to this openness and to discussing the options. So once they can dig into the matter and together with you really look at the facts and look at the scenarios, then more often than not you will get the result you want. But it's not guaranteed that it works all the time. Let's be very honest with that.
I guess it depends also on the personality of the founder in that case.
Absolutely. Yes.
So we have one more question, is what to do when your manager is rather more slow and you're one with founder mode and get stuck or slowed down by management?
That's a very good question, very thorough one. So it switches the context completely, from being the one who is affected by the founder mode to being the one who actually want to act more in the founder mode. So to this one, I'd say it's all about the impact and focusing really on things that matter, and having also your network working sideways, so you can create the alignment with all your stakeholders. It's not about bypassing your manager. It's just about having the possibility to move fast without waiting for the approval. So try to work sideways, try to align all your important stakeholders around your idea, and try to find a sponsor outside of your reporting line.
Thanks. We also have another question that I find very interesting. So the question says, it sounds like typical behavior from founders is hyper creative, but also chaotic and unfocused. Is there any difference in ex-product managers founders? Do you find like founders that were previously product managers to have a different approach?
I believe founders who were product managers before are more receptive to the arguments which product managers provide, and to our worries. And I believe this kind of founders have a language which is more understandable for us in the product organization. So it definitely helps also the founder to maybe form their messages or their requests in a way we product managers understand. However, I totally resonate also with this hyper creative, chaotic, and unfocused. And this can happen even in founders with a product manager background. And then again, our job as product manager is to bring clarity and structure into this creative chaos.
We have one more question. I think we can definitely have the time to take it. So what's a practical way to introduce structure without feeling bureaucratic to new founder-minded leaders?
A very good question, and also very close to our day-to-day reality. What I think works pretty well is to do it in baby steps, and to frame it as a series of small experiments. So I would not communicate it as we need a reorg or we need to define a process for communication. I would frame it as, let's try out if this new structure could help us get faster, or let's try to see if that removes friction, for example. And then if this tiny experiment is successful, founders will get appetite for more like that if they see the value. And always let's try to frame that as a tool to provide more value, to remove friction, and to let us create less waste, because this is what founders respond well to. And I would try to avoid words like process, because they feel so heavy, and this is not what founders like.
Great. Thank you so much. I think I have one more question for you, and it's again related to one of the options that were in the initial questions that we asked. That I was surprised. It would have been the one that my previous me working with that founder would have picked. There was the one about collecting data to then respond to these ideas or creativity with data to channel that. Do you find that is something that is useful, or founders wouldn't engage too much with that?
An excellent question. So what my own experience, and also from the war stories of other PMs, I can say that most of the founders are very opinionated and they rely strongly on their product instincts. And for them, data is just another opinion. And what we product managers can do is to frame data as a de-risking of the founder's idea. So I would treat data-driven experiments as a kind of a insurance for the original idea to minimize the risks. And I would show the data as a way to visualize, dear founder, look, we may run into some risks here. This is what the data show. Would you mind us running an experiment to de-risk your idea?
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we have no more questions at the moment, so I guess we can close it here. Just to remind you that we are always hiring. So you can scan the QR code on the screen if you are interested in applying. And also like to invite you all to subscribe to our newsletter when we share insights and experiences in product that we gain during the missions with our clients. And also a reminder about the next live stream coming up. The Rise of the Generalists. There's going to be Tuesday next week, same time on the same platforms as today. So thank you all so much, and thank you so much, Aleksandra. It's been a really, really insightful, and I'm sure that all of the audience were super, super interested about your talk and learning about your tips. That was absolutely super useful. Thank you for having me.